So we have analyzed everything about Mendelism and post-Mendelism. Beautiful logic. We have done numericals, analyzed that in tremendous detail. And now we have another chapter, chromosomal basis of inheritance, which, by the way, in the NCRT is a continuation of the chapter, Principles of Inheritance and Variation. So, part two of Principles of Inheritance and Variation, which we also speak as chromosomal basis of inheritance. So, let's see what that chapter is all about. What is the chromosomal basis of inheritance? Heredity is defined as the inheritance or transmission of characters from one generation to the other. Passing of characters from one generation to the other is heredity. The differences between the parents and their offsprings, along with their siblings, parents और offsprings, children और उनके siblings, brother sisters में जो differences होते हैं, they are called as variations. And the scientific study of mechanism of heredity and causes of variation is called as genetics, which was given by Bateson. And then we have Gregor Johann Mendel is called as the father of genetics, which we have done in detail. What was the chromosomal theory of inheritance? Chromosomal theory was put forward by Sutton and Boveri. It is that theory of genetics which identifies chromosomes as the carriers of genetic material. Who carries genetic material? Chromosomes carry genetic material. It states that gametes, sperm and egg, carry all the hereditary characters. It is gametes which are the link between the parents and the offsprings. Gametes are the link between parents and offsprings. Nucleus of gametes contains chromosomes which carries all the hereditary characters. It is the nucleus of the gametes which have in them chromosomes carrying genetic information. Chromosomes are found in pairs in somatic or diploid cells. Diploid cell में we have pairs of chromosomes. Diploid होते हैं. During gamete formation, homologous chromosomes pair and segregate independently at meiosis. During formation of gametes, these chromosomes will pair and assort independently to form haploid gametes. To form haploid gametes. And haploid gametes are there, and thus each gamete contains only one of the chromosome pair. तो diploid था somatic cells और body cell में, and during gamete formation, the homologous chromosomes have paired and segregated or separated, and each gamete contains only one chromosome of a pair. During fertilization, the union of the sperm and the egg restores the diploid number of chromosomes. Sperm के अंदर chromosomes है, egg के अंदर chromosomes है, and when the two fuse together, zygote will now have pairs of chromosome which restores the original diploid number of chromosomes. This was a simple theory called as the chromosomal theory of inheritance put forward by Sutton and Boveri. Then we have details of chromosomes. Chroma means color. Soma means body. So chromosomes are colored bodies. They are filamentous bodies present in the nucleus and are visible only during cell division. Otherwise, chromosomes are in the form of chromatin thread or chromatin network in the interphase, like we have done in cell division. During cell division, they will undergo condensation to form chromosomes. Chromosomes have ability of self-replication and play an important role in heredity, variation, mutation, and evolution of species. So, all the characteristics of heredity, variation, mutation, and evolution are dependent on chromosomes. Chromosomes which are morphologically and genetically identical are called as homologous chromosome. So chromosome number 1 maternal and 1 paternal, दोनों के first chromosome, gene for color of eye, gene for color of eye, gene for color of hair, gene for color of hair, gene for color of skin, gene for color of skin, and these are having identical genes. What are these chromosomes called as? Homologous chromosomes. The all individuals of a species have the same number of chromosomes, and presence of whole sets of chromosome is called euploidy. Presence of a set of chromosome is called euploid. It includes haploid, one set of chromosome N, as found in drones. Male honeybees have only one set of chromosomes. Diploid, two sets of chromosome 2n, as found in humans. We have two sets of chromosome. Triploid, 3n, as found in watermelon, has 3n. Bananas have 3n, and tetraploid 4n. Tetraploid 4n. So haploid found in drones, diploid found in humans, triploid found in bananas, tetraploid found in certain species of wheat. Wheat की कुछ species में होता है tetraploid. And in human beings, somatic or body cells contain two sets of chromosome, diploid 2n equal to 46, and gametes contain one set of chromosome, haploid n equal to 23. And one set of chromosome is called as a genome. तो हमारा एक सेट ऑफ क्रोमोसोम को जिनोम कहते हैं. Our gametes are haploid and have one genome. Out of the 23 pairs of chromosomes, 22 pairs are autosome and one pair is the sex chromosome. So 23 pairs of chromosomes जो होते हैं, of them 22 pairs are autosomes. Autosomes or somatic chromosomes. They have on them genes for heart, for liver, for lungs, for mouth, for eye, for color of hair, for color of hair, for color of skin, for color of skin, for height. So these are all somatic or body characteristics. And one pair is the pair of sex chromosomes. And sex chromosomes are X and Y. Y chromosome has on it gene for testis, gene for penis, gene for testosterone, gene for vas deferens, gene for seminal vesicle, prostate gland, Cowper's gland. X chromosome, gene for ovary, gene for fallopian tube, gene for clitoris, gene for estrogen, gene for progesterone, gene for uterus, gene for vagina, gene for labia majora. तो ये somatic body characteristic के लिए, और X और Y sex chromosomes are for the sexual characteristics. So we have one pair of 22 pairs of somatic chromosomes or autosome, one pair of sex chromosomes, one pair of sex chromosomes. And that is the way it is present inside humans. So that is chromosomes, and the size of the chromosome varies from species to species. Size अलग अलग होती है. A metaphasic chromosome varies from 0.1 to 0.33, 0.1 to 33 micrometer in length. 0.1 to 33 micrometer in length and 0.2 to 2 micrometer in thickness. So length is around 33 micrometer, thickness is 2 micrometer. The shape varies according to the stages of cell division. In interphase, chromosomes are in the form of chromatin network. So they are diffused. While in the metaphase, they show maximum condensation and appear short and thick. Metaphase में वो short and thick होते हैं and have got maximum condensation. And a metaphasic chromosome has two identical halves called as sister chromatids. Metaphasic chromosome में दो identical halves होते हैं which are called as sister chromatids. And these are sister chromatids. Each chromatid in turn is made up of subchromatids called as chromonemata. तो ये है सिस्टर क्रोमैटिड्स एंड सिस्टर क्रोमैटिड्स में halves होते हैं which are called as chromonemata. So these halves are called as chromonemata. Chromonemata are the halves. Each chromatid lies side by side and is held together at one point called as the centromere. बीच में होता है centromere. The centromere is also called as the primary constriction. Centromere is called primary constriction. During cell division, spindle fibers are attached to the centromere. We have done it. Spindle fibers are attached to centromere. Besides the primary constriction, there are additional narrow areas called as secondary constrictions. So, if you look at a chromosome, this is a chromosome made up of chromonemata. These are chromonematas. And बीच में है centromere. Centromere. और ये है centromere. And this is one chromatid, this is another chromatid. And ये है centromere, which is called primary constriction. Besides primary constrictions, there are secondary constrictions. There are additional areas called secondary constrictions. Some of these secondary constrictions are called nucleolar organizers because they are necessary for formation of nucleolus. तो ये है primary constriction called centromere और ये हो गया secondary constriction. तो ये हो जाते हैं secondary constrictions. And these are secondary constrictions which are called as nucleolar organizers. तो इसे कहते हैं nucleolar organizers. And nucleolar organizers are necessary for formation of the nucleolus. Nucleolar organizers सेल के अंदर होता है न्यूक्लियस. न्यूक्लियस के अंदर डार्क एरिया होता है कॉल्ड न्यूक्लियोलस. एंड न्यूक्लियोलस फॉर्मेशन के लिए यू हैव nucleolar organizers. So there are nucleolar organizers which are secondary constrictions. And part of the chromosome beyond the nucleolar organizer is short and spherical and is called as a satellite. तो ये है primary constriction, ये है secondary constriction, ये है nucleolar organizer, and the part beyond it is called as a satellite. उसे satellite कहते हैं. The tips of chromosomes are called as telomeres. So ये जो tip part है इसे telomere कहते हैं. Telomeres have a unique property. It prevents the end of chromosomes from sticking together. तो टीलोमियर्स की वजह से क्रोमोसोम्स एक दूसरे को चिपकते नहीं है. Telomeres repel away chromosomes, prevent chromosomes from sticking to each other. But telomeres attach it to the nuclear envelope. न्यूक्लियर एनवेलप को टीलोमियर क्रोमोसोम को चिपकवा देता है. सो ये है साइटोप्लाज्म विद सेल मेम्ब्रेन, and this is nuclear envelope, and telomeres help the chromosomes to get attached to the nuclear envelope. The surface of the chromosome bears a number of small swellings called as chromomeres. तो surface के ऊपर छोटे छोटे swellings होते हैं which are called as telomeres, which are called as chromomeres. तो ये छोटे छोटे swellings होते हैं called as chromomeres. They have in them the DNA. उनके अंदर DNA होता है. And this is a structure of a chromosome. Then we have types of chromosomes. According to the position of the centromere, chromosomes are classified into following types. You have metacentric, you have submetacentric, you have acrocentric, and you have telocentric. Metacentric, the centromere is exactly in the center. Submetacentric, the centromere is a little away from the center. Centromere center से थोड़ा away होता है. Acrocentric, the centromere is near the terminal end. Terminal end के पास होता है. And telocentric, the centromere is at the terminal end. So metacentric is centromere at center, at the center. Submetacentric is away from the center, away from the center. Acrocentric is near the terminal end, near terminal end. And telocentric is at the terminal end, at the terminal end. So once again, metacentric at the center, submetacentric away from the center, telocentric at the terminal end, or rather near the terminal end, telocentric at the terminal end. Let's do it again. Metacentric, if centromere is situated in the middle of the chromosome, it is called metacentric. And the two arms are nearly equal. And ये है metacentric, and centromere is in the middle. And the two arms are nearly equal. इसकी length और इसकी length same होती है. इसकी length और इसकी length same होती है. And it appears V-shaped during anaphase. Anaphase में centromere split हो जाएगा. So what will be the appearance of the chromatids? Chromatids will appear V-shaped. V-shaped due to anaphase breaking of centromere. ये है metacentric. Then we have submetacentric. Submetacentric, centromere is situated some distance away from the middle. So centromere is situated some distance away from the middle. Middle से थोड़ा अलग होता है. One arm is shorter than the other. This arm is short. This arm is long. This arm is short. This arm is long. And ये सब metacentric है. When centromere breaks during anaphase, what will be the shape? The shape will be L shape. Shape of the two chromatids will be L shape because एक arm short होता है, एक long होता है. एक arm short होता है, एक long होता है. So the two chromatids will appear L shape in anaphase. In acrocentric, centromere is situated near the end of the chromosome. So acrocentric में centromere is situated near the end of the chromosome. One arm is very short while the other is very long. एक आर्म एकदम शॉर्ट है और दूसरा काफी लंबा है. एक शॉर्ट है, एक काफी लंबा है. एंड एनाफेज में वो टूटेगा तो क्रोमोसोम विल अपीयर जे शेप. Chromosome appears J shape because one arm is very short, other is very long. One arm is very short and one arm is very long. So what is the appearance? J shape in anaphase. And telocentric, if the centromere is situated at the tip of the chromosomes. Centromere is at the tip of the chromosome, it is called telocentric. तो सेंट्रोमियर टिप ऑफ द क्रोमोसोम पे होता है टीलोसेंट्रिक. इट शोज ओनली वन आर्म एंड अपीयर्स रॉड शेप. अगर ये एनाफेज में सेंट्रोमियर स्प्लिट हो जाएगा, इट विल अपीयर रॉड शेप. Rod shape will be the appearance of the chromatids. Chromatids appear rod shape. So these are the types of chromosomes. Then we have structure of X and Y chromosome. Sir, ये है X chromosome और ये है Y chromosome. Now, as we are seeing, X chromosome it's distinctly longer compared to the Y chromosome. Y chromosome is the shortest chromosome of the human body. Shortest chromosome of the human body is the Y chromosome. The X chromosome is longer than the Y chromosome. The X chromosome contains large amount of EU chromatin, which is genetically transcriptionally active chromatin. तो U chromatin genetically useful है और X chromosome has large amount of EU chromatin and small amount of heterochromatin. तो यू क्रोमैटिन ज्यादा है, हेटेरोक्रोमैटिन कम है. यू क्रोमैटिन contains large amount of genetic material, DNA genes. Y chromosome contains small amount of EU chromatin and large amount of heterochromatin. So it has less DNA and is genetically less active. तो यहां पर है ज्यादा EU chromatin. In X chromosome, more of EU chromatin and less of heterochromatin. So euchromatin is transcriptionally and translationally more active. And Y chromosome pe you have vast majority is heterochromatin and less amount of euchromatin. So transcriptional translation power is relatively less in the Y chromosome. The X and Y chromosome show homologous and non-homologous regions. X and Y chromosome show homologous and non-homologous regions. Homologous region shows similar genes while non-homologous regions show dissimilar genes. Sir, ये है X chromosome का और Y chromosome का homologous genes. Homologous, ये homologous है और इनके अंदर जीन सिमिलर है. जीन सिमिलर है तो what genes we have? Gene for ovary, gene for testis, gene for fallopian tube, gene for vas deferens, gene for egg, ovum, gene for sperm, gene for estrogen progesterone, gene for testosterone, gene for Bartholin's gland, genes for Bartholin is similar if you remember. Bartholin is for lubrication. So in male, it will be the lubrication. So Cowper's gland and gene of Skene's gland, gene for prostate gland to neutralize the acidity. And ये सारे homologous genes है which are called as alleles. तो ये alleles होते हैं. And allele of X chromosome and Y chromosome if together, Y chromosome genes are dominant and X chromosome genes become recessive. So somebody with X and Y chromosome will express and will form all the characteristics of males. तो ये हो गया homologous region. And then there is the non-homologous part. Non-homologous part of Y chromosome is short and non-homologous part of X chromosome is longer. इसलिए Y chromosome छोटा होता है compared to X chromosome. Non-homologous part has on it genes for somatic body characteristic. तो Y क्रोमोसोम के नॉन होमोलोगस पार्ट पे जीन्स फॉर बॉडी कैरेक्टर. Homologous part had sex character. Non-homologous part has body character. For example, it has gene for hair growth on pinna of the ear. Hair growth on pinna of the ear. पिना ऑफ द ईयर के ऊपर हेयर ग्रोथ के जीन्स होते हैं. Hair pinna of the ear. And on non-homologous part of X chromosome, you have gene for vitreous humor. Gene for vitreous humor. Gene for rhodopsin, which is the pigment found in the rods of your eyes. Genes for iodopsin, which is found in cones of your eyes for color vision. तो जीन फॉर विट्रियस ह्यूमर जो आपके आईबॉल में होता है. जीन फॉर रोडोप्सिन जो आपके आंखों के रॉड्स में होता है. जीन्स फॉर आयोडोप्सिन जो आपके कोन्स कलर सेल्स ऑफ आईज में होता है, which understand color. And gene for clotting factor 8 or 9. Clotting factor 8 and 9, which are responsible for clotting of blood. तो ये सारे नॉन होमोलोगस पार्ट ऑफ एक्स क्रोमोसोम पे जीन्स है. सिमिलरली नॉन होमोलोगस पार्ट ऑफ वाई पे हेयर ऑन पिना के जीन्स है. तो these are X and Y chromosomes. And याद रखना, crossing over occurs between homologous region. Homologous regions can undergo crossing over during meiosis. During meiosis, they may cross over. It rarely happens, but कभी-कभी X and Y chromosome के homologous parts cross over, and that will result in a gamete with gene for testis, but gene for estrogen progesterone, and gene for fallopian tube, but gene for seminal vesicle. And ये child जब born होगा will have a mix of both male and female characteristics and is called as a gynandromorph. Gynandromorph, he will be gynoecium female and androecium male का mix. So it is called as a gynandromorph due to crossing over between homologous parts of the X and Y chromosome. जो rarely होता है, but crossing over may take place. Non-homologous region of the X chromosome has more genes than the non-homologous region of the Y chromosome. Non-homologous region of the X chromosome has about 50 genes more than the non-homologous region of the Y chromosome. 50 genes ज़्यादा होते हैं. And non-homologous region of the X chromosome के genes को कहते हैं X-linked genes, while non-homologous region of Y chromosome के genes को कहते हैं Y-linked genes. So, gene for hairy pinna is a Y-linked gene. For hair on pinna is a Y-linked gene. And gene for vitreous humor, which fills your eye. Gene for, I'll just write it down, vitreous humor, which fills your eyeball. Or gene for iodopsin, which is there in the cones, coloring, color interpretation cells in the retina. Gene for rhodopsin, which is found in the rods of your eyes and is responsible for uh, black and white coloration, and gene for uh, rhodopsin, iodopsin, vitreous humor, and gene for clotting factor 8, clotting factor 8 or clotting factor 9, clotting factor 8 or clotting factor 9, which is responsible for clotting of blood. तो ये सारे genes are called as X-linked genes. तो ये कौन से genes हो गए? X-linked genes. So genes for hairy pinna is a Y-linked gene found on the non-homologous part of the Y chromosome. Gene for vitreous humor, iodopsin, rhodopsin, clotting factor 8 or 9 are found on the non-homologous part of the X chromosome and are called as X-linked genes. So we will now go into the disorders very soon regarding these parts. Ciao. I hope you have understood the structure of chromosome and genes. Good.